We have Rose Without Thorns. The card says, you have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. Okay. And we also have underneath that the Rose Garden, innocence, forgiveness, be gentle with yourself. That is a card that's been coming up a lot for me over the last couple days. Yeah. So it might, I don't know, we'll see. Well, I'll allow these cards to sort of inform the reading as we go ahead. But so far, the general starting off message for you is that something that is key to your life and your success and your financial freedom and your like contentment and happiness is a life that is of ease, okay? And I think I'm assuming already that this group has probably gone through a fucking ton of shit. And so there's a key here to letting go of the aspects of your life, of your internal world, as well as your external world that has been causing you fucking stress and difficulty and turmoil, and that there's this life ahead of you that truly is like without thorns, right? It's like, there's no catch. It's just like joyful and peaceful. And I want you to tap into that frequency right now. Tap into that feeling of peace. Tap into smoothness, this like smoothness of being where there is like this, there's a scent, you've let go. You've let go of the stress. You've let go of the shit that doesn't need to be in your life, that pulls you down, that stresses you out. You're just like, no. And there's been a process of there is a process that needs to happen for this, of forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for, being in those situations. So there's a lot of bullshit out there that talks about how we attract what we are, blah, blah, blah. And it creates a lot of weird internal pressure and self-criticism that is totally unnecessary and toxic for a lot of spiritual people, a lot of people that have big hearts, that are empaths, blah, blah, blah. It gets so much bullshit fucking information, so many concepts and notions that are just spewed nonstop in spiritual circles and on the internet, especially on the spirit therapy kind of edge of things and the tarot card reading end of things. Your frequency is what attracts everything to you. And my big fucking thing here, first of all, is first, you can't even comprehend how complex your story is in the the interconnected web of all things. And your experiences that you've been through, yes, are to some degree telling a story, right? Are going to be part of your story. And your destiny is to escape or to heal the wounds of, your ancestors in this life, blah, blah, blah. We can look at it in those ways. We can get really microscopic and look at our own little lives that way and mythologize them that way. But it's also so much bigger than that. And the hardships that you've been through we're not just there to teach you something. And they were also not just there because something about you was dark enough or low vibrational enough that it, had to be like that. There are so many other factors that led to what happened to you, other people, other stories, incomprehensible complexities, right, of cause and effect that led to your moment in time. And if you can just sit with that for a second and realize that it's not all your fault, that you are just a moment, right? And you can let all of the the strain and the and the bindings and the morality stories and the the self-inflicted pressure and resentment that you have about why and how all the things that you have been through have happened to you, and like how it was your fault too, blah blah blah. Stop. Just stop. Like, this is the thing. I think this is coming through because whoever is listening to this reading is like, you've been through so many things, and it's like time now to know this, to know that the past is just the past, and like you're only here in the moment, in the present moment. And if you can awaken to the simplicity of your being, actually, and how you literally do not need to hold on to any more of this bullshit, and that you can change, that you're free to literally just recreate yourself right now, right this second, and live with ease, right? And to just decide that you are not going to be tormented by the ghosts and the hauntings of the past, and that your mind can be calm, that you can just say, God, take these thoughts from me, destroy these beings in my mind, that in my life even, that, you know, cause me pain. Destroy just meaning like dissipate them, transform them, and just live in peace. I think there's something here. There's something about that for you guys, that it's like it's a shift that you have to make within yourself, where you're just like, oh, and then you wake up to the kind of the ease of your existence, and that you don't have to like fucking make meaning anymore out of everything in the past, you know? It is what it is. It brought you here. You can mythologize it, but do so from a little bit of a distance, you know? Instead of over-identifying with everything, all the shit, you know, that's happened. And, you know, and just own your self-forgiveness, own your present moment, and own your peace. Okay. The Emperor. So, business, ownership, power, dominion, okay? This is personal power, but it's also, because we're talking about like what your actual gifts are, or not just what your gifts are, but like the key to your financial freedom in a way that feels good for you. And we have the Emperor. So, in line with what we were just talking about, this is about ownership, right? This is about divine ownership. This is also about God-given dominion over the realm, okay? So you have, and this is a selfhood thing. This is about you, like I said, starting from an internal place and claiming what is your life, claiming what your approach is, claiming what is for you. Now, what is for you? Page of Cups, Seven of Swords. Truth-telling. Heart openings over... Okay, I'm getting this really strongly. So it's heart openings, or it's like an innocence of the soul, a purity of the soul that transmutes and transforms lack of integrity. Okay? We're gonna see how this unfolds. Give me a second here. Speaking with clarity, speaking with purpose, speaking and thinking with direction about what it is that you want to build in this world, and speaking from the heart rather than speaking from a sense of self-preservation. There is something about you guys being a director of A director of the soul, excuse me. Specifically, what is the path to financial freedom for tile number 1? Okay, the high priestess. So we have the emperor and the high priestess, which is beautiful. If you think about emperors or like a male ruler of an empire, even just like let's think about the Roman, like ancient Rome when they had emperors before the Republic. And there was always this like relationship between the male ruling body and the oracle position, the feminine oracle, right? Like who existed, maybe it was the Oracle of Delphi, or it was like the priestesses of the temple of Hestia or something. So like the rulers, the male political body would go to the oracles, the female holders of spiritual knowledge, and they would ask advice or they would ask for prophecy, right? About what to do. So there's this relationship here between your spiritual connection, your spiritual power, and your connection to the divine, your devotional side, and then your business side, and your ability to like rule on planet Earth informed by this spiritual aspect of yourself and of your entity, of yourself. And Two of Wands, Queen of Swords. What happens with this dichotomy within you, which is where your power lies, which is where your effectiveness is, which is where your financial freedom will flow from, is in combining the relationship of these two things. And do you want to know something funny? I've read the cards wrong. So remember when I said 7 of Swords? This is actually 5 of Swords. Super interesting. We're not going to change the message. We're going to leave the message as it was because, like, I believe, I yap in ways that need to be yapped, I guess, for this reading. But, like, the 5 of Swords, actually, which I'm now realizing is the 5 of Swords, is like this card about mentally, like, winning the game in a sense, but there being like a sense of guilt, a sense of almost shame for who you are and for how you express and for what has happened. Do you remember when I started this off about like personal shame? You guys are meant to be healing the relationship. This is almost like healing imposter syndrome specifically. To function not from a place of trying to win, but from a spiritually true and honest place. It's like you see the hardships of the world. You see how people suffer. You see how it seems unfair. The world seems unfair, right? You were able to like witness with your mind, like consciously, how certain things, how some people win, some people don't. Like things don't seem to be working out. Things don't seem to be fair, frankly. And some people seem to get more than others. And your gift is something that is deeply spiritually rooted. It's like a missing link. It's like the truth, but it comes from a place of innocence and a place of purity to the point where it's like, what I'm really feeling is it bubbles up for people and it saves them from feeling apathetic. It saves them from feeling lost. And it's an offering. And I think that you offer this through your language, through your speech, through writing, through vision and tactics, anything like that, anything that has to do with business and or writing and or permanency, like where you're you're influencing the world around you through your presence, but you do so like quite clearly. And it has like an intellectual aspect to it. And I think that you do this through using the internet. With the Two of Wands here, this is like a global, like the World Wide Web, and you broadcast things like out into the world. One more specifics to clarify this. What is the key? What you're trying to do is create a harmonious community in the world. What you're trying to do is bring people to that place that, I think this is about you helping others, but I think it's also about you creating like a 10 of Cups situation, but it's in reverse, right? So your purpose, your key to your fulfillment lies in creating this bridge between success and spiritual, between active power or empowerment and like earthly success and spiritual secrets, okay? And like real truth and connection to like the earth's mysteries. And do this through language, through speech. Do this through clearly offering something through the internet, through online platforms of some kind of way that like gets your voice out there. And use the focus, let the focus be a no pressure offering of either something on an emotional level or spiritual level or both. Something that is related to your spiritual truth, okay? Something that is related to the secrets of the universe that you are in tune with, that is informing your own sense of empowerment right now. And let the focus, kind of the direction of your message, be to soften the edges of conflict, in someone else's mind, or in their conception of life, or in their relationships with others. Build a business based on these things. Build a business based on your ability to, or your own high priestessness, your own priestess, aspect. Connect the divine masculine, the divine feminine within yourself. Be your own daddy and be your own mommy, and then be your own knight and be your own priestess. Do you know what I mean? Like, work with, okay, if you're a woman, for example, or you're like a feminine being who identifies mostly with feminine energy, empower your inner masculine archetypes. Spend some time learning about masculine archetypes and identify with them. Find a way to identify with them, and then come back to your kind of like bigger, more encompassing feminine archetypes. There are always counterparts of both. Like if you have a in some kind, if you're looking at like a masculine archetype of like the warrior, you can also find, in some ways, you can reflect that back into like a feminine version of that archetype. But the message here is to blend all of it for yourself, because that is going to deepen your understanding of things, and it's also going to empower you in a worldly sense. And then obviously vice versa. If you're more of a masculine person, then tap into feminine archetypes, like learn about feminine archetypes and actually apply them to your own inner like self and your own inner psyche. Is there anything else? Nope, too many. This is how you are going to create peace for yourself. This is it. I'm really feeling like this is the only way forward for you. in a way that will be able to outline, or like that will feel in the way that we are wanting it to feel, you know, that where you're going to have wealth and like financial freedom and power and success, and also feel satisfied at a soul level. There's something I'm really getting with this ease, this rose without thorns. It's like I'm really getting this thing of like smoothing things out. It's so important that you stop fucking making things harder on yourself right now. And I think this message is meant to just be like a total confirmation and activation for you to stop stressing out and to allow yourself to just do this thing, right? Like just focus and allow yourself to be like really empowered by it, because like these are to me two of the most powerful archetypes that can be related to the human being in the tarot. Life unveils her holy face, beauty. The quality of my camera is not great right now, but hopefully you can see that. So, yeah, you are the unveiling, right? Like this is all about your priestesshood, and your purpose is to unveil things for others, to unveil the divine in the world as it is, and to be rooted in beauty, and to allow yourself to honestly allow yourself to live a life devoted to beauty. And beauty can be more than just aesthetic beauty, right? It's more than just visuals. It's justice, it's balance, it's harmony. It's also, it can be awe, it can be wonder. Like beauty is an amorphous thing, and it calls the soul. Beauty is something that inspires the soul, right? Your life is meant to be devoted to that, is meant to be devoted to the exploration of beauty and the expression of beauty in some way. And that's beautiful, and I'm leaving you there with that. Thank you for being here.